you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Glad to have you guys here. Glad to be back. If you are new to the channel and a first timer, then welcome to the channel. Glad to have you guys here tuning in to learn the strat and our setups that we go through each and every day. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so down below. Click that subscribe button. Hit that bell. That bell gives you the notifications for when I send out videos just like this one every single day. I give you guys free daily setups. Okay, I also give you informational videos, motivational videos, learning tools like the 30 and 30 videos, 3-1 setups, inside bars, outside bars, what the candle numbers mean, all kinds of other videos. So make sure you subscribe. You can also check me out on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can YouTube or you can DM me there, comment there. And you can do the same thing on the YouTube videos. Comment down below, ask me questions. I usually get back to you guys that same day. I do want to pass out a special note. I have been putting a donation note at the bottom to help me out for the time that I do for these videos. I want to thank Sherry Wilkes, Olivia James, Rob Abbott. You guys are all very, very generous. I appreciate it very much. It's very kind of you guys. It's much appreciated, and I really enjoy doing the videos for you guys. So thank you guys for that. And if anybody else wants to do so, there's a link in the description down below. So let's get started on our daily watch list for Monday, May 2nd. Okay, it's a new day, it's a new week, it's a new month. So I will try to get the weekly video out tonight as well. The monthly video may have to come out Monday. But we will see. And I know on the monthly there's a ton of 3-1 setups, which you guys already know. If you watch the videos, I really like those, and there's a bunch on the monthly if you guys are interested in swinging those. Okay, so let's get started on this list. There's a bunch of them. I'll try and go through as fast as I can for you guys, and then we'll probably do a top 5 a little later. So let's start off with Neo, as I always do. If there's a setup on Neo, Neo is 2 up, and we finished red. We have full time frame continuity to the downside. Obviously, the day, the week, and the month are going to change come Monday. We'll see how that goes. If you guys want this indicator, go into your indicator tab, type in time frame continuity, and the author is Board Rider B. If you guys want these numbers on your candlesticks to tell you what are 2 candles, what are 1 candles, and what are 3 candles, you can't see this one because I've got an outside bar here indicating outside bar, but the outside bars will show you a 3. Go back into your indicator tab, and you can type in, where is it here? Candle type, the Strat by Crinklebind, okay? So I don't usually use that. I leave this on here now for you guys because a couple people have asked. So if you want it on there, you can comment down below to tell me to leave it on, or if you don't think it's necessary, let me know. Okay, so Neo had a 2 up that finished red. A 2 up, meaning a 2, we can either have a 2 up or a 2 down. A 2 up means we passed only the high of the previous candle. Okay, if we were a 2 down, like this scenario here, we only passed the low of the previous candle, which would have been this one, okay? This is a 2 down, this is a 2 up, okay? So we have a 2 up, but it finished red. So probabilities tell us that we are going to trend down tomorrow with Neo, or on Monday with Neo. So we can take puts on option plays at $16.66, and to get our targets, our magnitude, our pivot points, whatever you want to call it, the bull stop losses, we take the bottom of the preceding wicks. So here is the first target, and then on the next one, which I've got here, we got to go back in time a little bit to here. So the reason, this is a good thing to show you guys, the reason the next one is here and not further down is because we have this gap here to fill. Okay, so when there's a gap to the downside, we always take the top of the wick. if we were a gap to the upside, we would take the bottom of the next wick. And then, again, your next target after that would be way, way down here, which I could be wrong, but I don't think NIO's going back to 13, but that's just me. Okay, so that's NIO. The next one is BA, which is Boeing Company. Now, Boeing has pretty wide spreads and higher premiums, but I'm going to leave this one outside bar play on here for you guys with Boeing with this 1-3 setup. Okay, time frame to the downside. We can look for calls at 156.97, puts at 148.29, and again, so here's the example of the gap that I was talking about to the upside. This is our first target, the top of the wick, and the bottom. Now, I'm just going to move this down slightly. The bottom of this wick is our target on the gap, and then the top of the candle will be our next target, okay? And then to the downside, again, same thing. We just make our targets right here. 146 is your first target to the downside. Okay, moving on, we've got FUBO, FUBO, 2 up that finished red. So we can look for puts at $3.79. Your first target is 375. So this isn't a strong play here just because the magnitude isn't great. The other thing, we've tagged the bottom of this broadening formation, the dotted blue line there. As you can see there, okay? So tagged here. So this may trend up or it may just have a continuation to the downside. We'll see what happens with FUBO on Monday. Palantir, PLTR, outside bar, full time frame to the downside. Again, the day, the week, the month are all going to change on Monday. So we'll see what happens there. This blue line, I just want to double check this to make sure it's correct. Yes. So this blue line is the monthly trigger. Okay, so we'll go back to the day. I'm going to show you guys this because it happens a few times on these plays. We trigger to the downside. Here, our first target, I don't even know how far down we're going. Our first target is the monthly trigger, okay? So I don't even have the green line on there. This blue line is our target, but it is also our trigger for our 2 down monthly, okay? So we have 2 things that happen here. Inside bar in March, a 2 up that failed. So we have a 2 down that's red in April. And as we head into May, if we trigger this monthly, if we trigger the daily and hit our targets, we've just triggered the monthly. Okay, and our monthly target is now down here at the bottom of this candle. So we could see a move from, 1042 to somewhere in that 975 range, okay? So 75 cents on 10 bucks. So that's just something to watch for on Palantir. That happens a few times throughout our plays here. So plug is next. And guys, I am warning you, this video is going to be a little longer because there's about 40 plays. But as we get into it, it'll be a little bit less. It'll go a little faster because there's less things to go through to show you guys. So again, plug power, 2 up that finished red. Shooter candle to the downside. Okay, and we have full time frame. Again, the day, the week, and the month are going to be different on Monday. First target shown here at $20.08. PTON. And another thing I do want to say, the way a lot of these candles are setting up, it's looking as a red day on Monday, but you never know. The market is unpredictable. So again, Peloton, 2 up that finished red. It's a failed 2, meaning, we closed below the trigger. And we can take puts on this one at $17.53. SE is C Limited, has a 2 up that finished red again. There's a few of these on here. So we can take puts at $82.49. SNAP, 2 up that finished red with a shooter candle, full time frame. We can look for puts at $28.37. And look at this. What do you know? Is this our monthly? Let's go check it out. It is not. So the color is just a little bit too... I'm going to have to change that. The color is a little bit too close. So this green line here is our first target on Snap. Space, SPCE. Again, 2 up, finished red. We can look for puts at $7.48. this one holds true. So our first target is at the bottom of this wick, but then just below that, we've got this monthly target. It's actually, this monthly target is off. So there we have it. Okay, so if we hit targets on space to the downside, that triggers our monthly trigger. Okay, so if we trigger our monthly, and again, I'll go over this in the monthly videos, our target's way down here for space at $6.70, okay? So the day triggers the month. The daily target triggers the month. So again, here's the trade desk, another 2 up that finished red. We can take puts, I keep saying calls. We can take puts at $58.43. And again, we have this blue monthly line at the first target of the day. That would trigger the month, okay, on trade desk for a swing trade. Inside bar on American Airlines, we can take calls at $19.52, puts at $18.77. The pink lines here are our triggers for the weekly, okay? So if we continue down on this inside bar on American Airlines and we hit second targets, now we've just triggered the weekly, okay? You can go back and check on the weekly charts how that works out. For you guys, inside bars, I really love playing inside bars. They show consolidation in a stock, a 1 bar or an inside bar. You can call it whatever you want, but it does not break the high or the low of the previous candle, which is this first green candle right here. We stay within the range, and it's a tightening shows what's the word I'm looking for? It shows consolidation within the stock. So if we look back at other inside bars, we tend to have big breaks to the downside or the upside after we have those inside bars. Here's one right here, and we jet up. Now this would have been a gap play, and it still would have been good because you gapped and called a gap and go. You can check out my gap video for that information as well. AFRM is next. Again, a 2 up that finished red. We can look for puts at 28.56, and there is our monthly trigger at the second target, okay? So monthly trigger to go short on AFRM. AMC has an inside bar. We can take calls on AMC at 16.05, puts at 15.22, and again, our first target to the downside is our monthly trigger. Okay, I said there was a bunch of those. There's a bunch of those for monthly swing plays, okay? AMD, here's I think this is another one. Let me just go back on the weekly. On the weekly chart, no, I don't know what that is. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so AMD has a 2 up to finish red. We can take puts at 85.38, and there's our first target. Not a lot of magnitude, not a lot of gapping between the trigger and the target. So I don't know if I'm going to be... AMD would not be one of the ones I'm watching tomorrow at the start of the day anyways. Okay, AR, Antero Resources, has an inside bar. Calls at 36.61, puts at 34.67. You can see here we've got our weekly trigger on our first target to the upside, okay? BIDU has a 2 up that finished red. We have a gap to fill here. So again, our first target goes at the top of the wick. The second one goes down here. You can take puts on this one at 123.69. First target's at 121.34. This blue line is our trigger for the monthly to the downside on BIDU. CAT has a 2 up to finish red, shooter candle. Let's take puts on this one at 210.11. CAT does have higher premiums and a wider spread between the bid and the ask. The first target, again, is the trigger for the monthly to the downside. Carnival Cruise Lines, 2 up that finished red. And again, same scenario here. We can take puts at 17.24 and just below our first targets, and I bet you this line is off. If I'm guessing, it is. So we move that up like so. Go back to the daily. There you go. Your first target is the trigger for the monthly. Now let's break through this, and we can jump in for swing plays to the downside on the monthly on Carnival. CVX has a inside bar. Again, inside bars show consolidation. Look at here. If we go back in time, look at this run to the upside. This one ended up being an outside bar. Here we had a run to the upside. Okay, so they're powerful setups. Look for them. Okay, so watch these plays that have these inside bars. Okay, so we can take calls at 162.40. Our first target is the trigger for the weekly to the upside. This is our trigger for the monthly to the downside. Okay, so we can also take puts on this one at 156.22 on CVX. DraftKings has a 2-up red shooter candle full time frame. Puts at $13.64. DocuSign 2-up red full time frame. Move this down just a hair. We can take puts on DocuSign at $80.71. And your magnitude or your first target is down here. Okay, so you got to go back in time a little bit to find that first target on Docusign. Ford 2-up. Oh, sorry, not a 2-up. We have an inside bar on Ford. At the bottom, I've drawn some broadening formations here. So we are at the bottom of this broadening formation here. Or you could also make, if we click on here, it must be on that. Okay, so that's where the broadening formation had started. We can move it down to do this. Okay, but I have it from up here previously. We tagged, went back up, tagged, and it's very possible that we move back to the upside on Ford. Let's see. There's an inside bar, so we can play both angles of it, okay? So we can take calls at $14.97, puts at $14.10 on Ford daily plays, okay? Facebook, 2-up, red, hammer candle, or shooter candle, sorry. We can take puts at $199.72. There is our first target, right here. Second target, as I've told you guys before, there's a gap, so we take the top of the candle, okay? And then the next target's way down here. Okay, so look for Facebook. We can take puts at $199.72 on Facebook. GME, usually higher premiums, but we have an inside bar on it. Okay, and another one of these monthly triggers, okay? So full time frame to the downside, we could take calls at 130.89 if it breaks. Puts at 123.01. Our first target is, again, the trigger on the monthly swing. Okay, KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper, 2-up, that finished red. Okay, so we can look for puts on this one at $37.72. If we go into Lululemon, higher premiums on this one as well, but we can take puts at $353.80. Our second target is the trigger for the monthly again on Lululemon. Okay, Lyft has a 2-up red shooter candle, full time frame to the downside, puts at $32.54. MGM 2-up red, call it a shooter candle if you'd like, puts at $40.96. First target is down here, bottom of your previous wick. Okay, if you guys have questions, like I said, make sure you put them down below. I'll be sure to answer them. If you like the videos, give me a thumbs up. If you think the videos suck, well, let me know why so I can help you guys in your trading journey. Okay, moving on. We've got Marvel, MRVL, 2 down red again, full time frame, puts at 58.01. MU, Micron Technology, 2 up, finished red, shooter candle, whoops, full time frame to the downside. So we can look for puts on this one at 58.01. Next up is MU, Micron Technology, 2 up, red, shooter candle, full time frame, puts at 68.05. Nike, 2 up, red, puts at 124.26. Targets, first targets here. Second targets are, let's tag those in for you guys just so you can see. Man, this isn't clicking. There we go. Second targets, I'm going to make that green. And then your third target is, again, your trigger for the monthly on Nike to the downside. Okay, NVAX, 2 up, finished red, big shooter candle, puts at $44.92. NVIDIA, 2 up, red, shooter candle. We can take puts on this one at 185.43, and your targets are not great on NVIDIA. So that's not really one I would potentially be watching, but it's on the list for our main list anyways. PG inside bar, you know I like these. Inside bar, we stayed inside bar on the next one, and then we had a 2 down for a gain. This is an inside bar, 2 up for a big gain. Okay, so inside bar, this one is another interesting one. So we trigger to the upside. Our first target is the trigger for the weekly. This pink line right here runs across. We come to the downside. Our second target is our trigger for the weekly swings to the downside on PG. Okay, pins 2 up, red, that's Pinterest. We can take puts at $20.49, first target way down here. PayPal's got a 2 up, red. Puts at 87.77 on PayPal. RBLX, that's Roblox, 2 down, shooter candle, full time frame. Day, week, and the month may change. We can take puts on this one at 30.58. Again, on Mondays, we always have to see what happens with the day and the week. This one's a little different because now we have to wait to see what happens with the day, the week, and the month. Okay, 2 down, red on Roku. Looks like we've got a little bit of a gap fill here, but we can take a trigger on puts at 92.60. SLB Schlumberger has a 2 up that finished red, so we can take puts at 38.83 trigger. SoFi Technologies 2 up, red, shooter candle. There are a ton of these on our setups. Full time frame, puts at 6.09. Square 2 up that finished red, so we can take puts at 99.35. And again, our first target is our monthly. I like this monthly play for Square because we have an inside bar. Okay, so an inside bar. I'm looking for this to trend up or trend down. The daily tells us we are trending down, probably, but let's see what happens on it, okay, for Square block. Okay, Tesla Myasla, 2 up, finished red, puts at 869.02. Uber Technologies, 2 up, finished red. We can take puts at 31.41. There is our trigger for the monthly on Uber. One of these has a 3-1 setup. Is it this one? It's not. When I go through the monthly video, you'll see there's a few 3-1 setups on the monthly. So again, Upstart Holding, UPST, 2 up to finish red, shooter candle, puts at 74.84. VLO, inside bar, calls at 115.38, puts at 111.03. D-Dog, Datadog, this looks like a 2 down that finished red. I wonder why I had this one on here. I had it on here for a reason, and I don't remember what it was. Inside bar on the monthly, so we can watch for that one. The weekly, let's not worry about Datadog on this one. And I guess that's the list. Maybe I had it on there by accident. That's the big list, guys. 45 plays. I'll be sending out a top 5 later today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys for all of the subscribers I've gained already. I really, really appreciate it on both YouTube and Twitter. It's humbling to me, and I'm excited to have you guys excited to learn with me and with everybody else, and we learn and earn together, and the Strat is a family, and let's grow as a family and win together. Okay, so until the next one, guys, bye-bye.